Now I'm sure no matter what meta you guys are in, there is something in the meta that you would like to change. May that be a nerf to the P.E.K.K.A. to make her less overwhelming, a rework to the Executioner to make him a better alternative to the Wizard, or even a nerf to some of the hardest counters to your deck. However, many of the cards in the meta can't simply be fixed by simple statistical changes. Oftentimes they need a full rework. Hey guys, Letter right here, and today we're going to be going over 5 cards that I believe need a rework going into Season 3 of Clash Royale. Clash Royale has been doing approximately one big rework every single balance change recently, and it's looking like the Executioner will be the one in the next month. However, here are 5 other cards that I believe should get a rework as well. Now before we get into the video, if you could leave a like and subscribe to my channel, that would greatly help me out. Also, check out my socials, links in the description. And without further ado, let's get right into the list. Number 1, Witch. Now the Witch is a card that is super good on the ladder when at a high level, but not as effective when at a tournament standard. One major reason behind this is because the Witch is just such a tanky card, being able to survive a Fireball Zap combination even at a tournament standard. In addition to that, I think she's a card that is very likely to be balanced in the near future. Why? Well, take a look at this recent TV Royale released by Supercell. Notice how her hit speed is a lot slower, and notice how she doesn't spawn any skeletons when she dies. Now, for the Witch, here's what I'd suggest. Decrease her HP to make her die to a Fireball plus Zap, and then increase her damage by quite a bit, as well as decrease her skeleton spawning speed as well. This way, she won't be as frustrating to face when overleveled, and an increased damage output will make her a lot stronger in the meta, as spells such as Poison or Log can very easily take out the skeletons and render that Witch almost completely useless, since she literally does as much damage as a single skeleton. Zappies. This is another card that Supercell has said that they are looking to balance quite soon. In fact, here's what they said. I think it's important that the game has a variety of stun attacking troops available to players to minimize the swinginess of Inferno or charging cards. The goal of a Zappy rework would be to make them better at splitting lanes and making the first attack not nearly so slow, but we want to do more than just a faster first hit. Zappies are a very unique card to the game, being the only troop that can fully stun lock another unit. However, with a slow first attack, this made them a very and sometimes a very inconsistent card to run. So I'll go ahead and take some inspiration from this Reddit post here for the Zappies rework. Elixir cost increased from 4 to 5, Zappies count from 3 to 4, first attack increased. Now, with the faster first attack, maybe they can stop, a charging Prince before he destroys the Zappy. Also, the increased cost will make them better at splitting lanes too, being an effective counter to all the control-based decks that are currently running out there. Bomber. Now the Bomber is another interesting card who's only really seen in overleveled decks as well as in the start of the game in lower arenas. Now the biggest problem with the Bomber is the fact that he can't hit air like a majority of the other splashers in the current game. In addition, being not as tanky as many other supporting units, he can be very easily taken out. Again, this Reddit post here has a very good rework. Bomber. Elixir cost from 3 to 2, make him die to Log, decrease his damage a little bit, and also increase his hit speed. Now this change will do 2 things. It makes the Bomber actually a log bait card. In fact, it'll be one of the only splash log bait cards aside from the Princess, but for just 1 less elixir, and that 1 less elixir might make him a little more useful to play in some certain decks. Also, the Bomber will now do the same damage as the Bomb Tower, which also just standardizes that as well. Bowler. Bowler's a card that is definitely usable in this meta, but he's just not found in many different decks. I think the biggest problem for this is due to his super slow hit speed as well as high elixir cost. With the amount of air units running around, a 5 elixir ground investment just simply doesn't have a big place to shine. It's kind of similar to the Bomber, who also can't target air. In addition to that, his slow hit speed makes him almost useless when slowed by an Ice Wizard or stunned by an E-Drag. So, how would I change this card? Well, I have 2 suggestions in mind. One is to increase his boulder speed as well as attack speed with a damage decrease to compensate for that. This makes the bowler react a bit quicker to take out swarms, which should be his specialty, and also allows him to hit units more consistently. The second change would be to allow the bowler's boulders to knock back the prince. I mean, it makes sense. The executioner's specialty is that he can target air, so the bowler has to have some specialty when going against ground troops to make him a more compelling option. Therefore, allowing the bowler to knock back the prince's charge may be just what he needs to become a stronger force in the meta. Night Witch. Finally, this is another super niche card with her only being seen in beatdown decks and nothing else. However, nowadays she isn't even seen in beatdown. Most golem decks actually prefer E-Drag or the newly buffed Cannon Cart, which is simply more versatile and allows for easier matchups. So what we need to do is to make the Night Witch more versatile. E-Drag's Chain Lightning is so valuable in meta decks as there aren't too many swarms. Cannon Cart's long range allows him to super easily lock onto almost anything, may that be a unit on offense or even the tower. So how would I change the Night Witch? Well, what I think we should do is to make her a Fireball bait card by decreasing her hit points and then in turn increasing her damage. This way she still has a spot in beatdown by providing lots of value, spawning bats in a push, but her increased damage also makes her a very useful unit during a counter push. This gives her, possibly a spot back in the bridge spam meta as well as some Fireball bait decks as well. So there we go, a short list of 5 cards that I believe deserve a rework in the upcoming months of Clash Royale balances. Of course, it's not a comprehensive list as there are so many more cards in the game that should receive a rework. So be sure to let me know some of your rework ideas in the comment section below. I'm really interested in hearing what you guys have. But unfortunately guys, that's all I've got time for in today's episode. If you enjoyed, please leave a like down below as well as a subscription to my channel. And as always, this is Legendary, and I'm signing off. See you guys next time.